So good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to welcome you to today's webinar. CPaaS aggregators are growing faster than ever. Learn how. My name is Hiya Shah, and I am the digital content creator at Hex Wireless. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. At Hex Wireless, we specialize in powerful communication solutions that help businesses scale their messaging operations with reliability and precision. Today's session is powered by our flagship platform, PowerSMPP, a robust messaging delivery engine built specifically to support SMS aggregators and enterprises. From smart routing to real-time dashboards and customizable APIs, PowerSMPP is the engine behind many fast-scaling communication businesses today. So now, to truly understand why this topic matters, let's take a quick look at what's happening in the CPaaS space right now. The CPaaS industry is projected to surpass $45 billion by 2027, and aggregators, who serve as the critical link between telecom operators and enterprises, are playing a major role in this growth. With rising customer expectations and the increasing demand for real time communication, aggregators today are scaling faster than ever. But what's powering this shift? So, to give more insights on how it is going to happen and why it is evolving, we have with us Bhaumik Nagar, Product Delivery and Operations Manager at Hex Wireless. He has been in the industry for years, serving the top clients with the best of technology. Hi, Bhaumik. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Hello, Hia. Thank you so much for inviting me to this webinar. Pleasure is all mine.
So, Bhaumik is a technical operations leader who has been instrumental in ensuring successful product deployments, managing client delivery, and optimizing performance for enterprise scale messaging platforms. His hands on approach in collaborating with cross functional teams makes him a key force in how we build, deliver, and scale products like Power SMPP. I've personally seen how involved you are in shaping back-end execution for our CPaaS clients, so I know our audience is in for an insightful session. Audience, feel free to drop your questions in the chat section. The questions will only be visible to me and I will take it up in the end. We'll address them towards the end. So let's keep this session interactive and useful for you. So let's get started. Okay, so let's begin with a bit of context for everyone here. So, Bhaumik, in your view, how has the CPaaS aggregator market evolved over time, and what did the landscape look like earlier, and what shifts have you seen?
Sure. To be very honest, earlier the market was pretty basic. Aggregators were mainly used to just send SMSs like push notification, no real-time control, no smart features. Like you'd connect to an SMSC and hope things worked. But over time, everything changed. Now, aggregators are expected to become a full platform with dashboards, APIs, real time routing, DND scrubbing, and even integration with platforms like channels like WhatsApp and other communication channels in market. Uh, for example, what it used to take days to configure, like setting up users, creating routing, onboarding vendors, even applying filters, now just take few clicks. So yes, shift has been major, just from sending messages to handling the full scale messaging operations.
Yes, so that is a huge shift, like from basic SMS sending to a full-fledged intelligent messaging.
Yes.
Okay, so what challenges were common back then that modern aggregators don't necessarily face today?
Okay, so back in those days, a major challenge was like everything was manual. Like if one route gets failed, you need to log into yourself, then fix it. So from everything, like delivery tracking were either missing or it was super complicated to figure out. But now most of the platform has DLR engines, dashboards, alert systems in place. So from like one of my past experience, we had a client from Kenya, and they approximately had 100 or probably more than that SMPP and HTTP connectivity, and they used to keep a spreadsheet to manage their routings, like seriously on spreadsheet. So After moving them to a proper platform like PowerSMPP, they automated everything like from HTTP connectivity to handling the DLRs through webhook. And eventually they handled 5x more traffic from what they used to have without even hiring extra people. So yes, automation and visibility is something that has made like huge difference.
Wow. So, like from managing 100 gateways on spreadsheets to full automation with Power SMPP, that really shows how far we've come. Okay. So, as the industry matured, what kind of expectations started to change, like from enterprises to telcos?
Okay, so the enterprises started asking for more control. Like they wanted to know, where did my message go? Like why was it delayed? Can I get a full report about my message? So they are not okay with blind deliveries anymore. And also on the telco side, they become more stricter too. Like they wanted to have better reporting, compliance friendly platform, DND scrubbing, clean traffic. So aggregator had to adapt in order to accommodate both the kinds of traffic, offering better compliance tools, dashboards, and spam filters.
Yeah, exactly. It's like both sides started raising the bar at once.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we have seen how the market has evolved, what would you say are the biggest factors driving this rapid scaling of the CPaaS aggregators today?
Okay. Um, I would say the major driver is demand. Like businesses wants to talk to their customers on SMS, WhatsApp, RCS, email, all those communication channels at one place. Secondly, the cloud infrastructure. Like they've made it very easier to scale fast. Like no more buying high resources servers or long setup times in order to have a platform. And the third thing I would say would be the platforms in current time. Like they are very more mature now. For example, we had a client in Latin America who started on Power SMPP. Initially, they were very new to the market. And within 3 months period of time, they onboarded approximately 40 plus enterprise customers. And the major reason behind that was like from the first day they had the WhatsApp, they had the SMS, they got the DND filters, DLR traces were easy to find. So all those things were from initial stage. So that is why it is a kind of mix of demand, speed, and readiness, I would say.
Yes, I think that really brings it together. High demand, faster tech, and market readiness. Okay, so now let's talk about the solutions and systems enabling this growth. So, Bhaumik, from your experience in product delivery, what are the top three features an aggregator must have today in their tech stack to scale effectively?
That's a very good question. So, uh, from what I've seen, three things stand out. Firstly, I would say a solid routing engine. Like without that, you can't even handle volume or even switch traffic smartly. Second would be the real-time DLR reporting. Like because customer now wants instant delivery stats, like the way they are doing with SMS and WhatsApp right now. And the third thing I would say would be a plugin ready architecture. Like you can't keep your application very hard coded with features. You need to have little bit flexibility to have DND filters, WhatsApp, MNP APIs. So whatever customer asks for, you should have the flexibility to accommodate all those things. And without this, scaling becomes messy, and we have seen that a lot.
Okay, so it's the magic trio smart routing, real time reporting, and easy integrations. Okay, so can you share a real world use case where a client scaled operations dramatically after using Power SMPP?
Yes. So there is one client probably from Southeast Asia, as far as I can remember. So like when they started, they were doing 300,000 messages a day, mostly promotional traffic. When they moved to Power SMPP, they started using the routing rule policies like LCR, round robin, then adaptive DLR system. So within 6 months period of time, they scaled over 5 million messages daily. In the whole scenario, what changed was how quickly they could manage the vendors, routes, or the campaigns without writing a code or calling our support teams on regular basis. Everything was available on GUI, like. And initially, once they started doing 5 million, I had a Google Meet with them, and the feedback what they've shared was they started reselling the platform to small aggregators in their region. So that was something which I found very powerful with Power SMPP.
Yeah, I think that is a perfect example. Like with the right tools, even new players can scale up like pros. Okay, so what specific design considerations went into Power SMPP, keeping the aggregators in mind?
Okay, so when our founders were building Power SMPP, they kept asking one questions to themselves, like how do we make life easier for an aggregator? And that was the question that guided us through everything. Like for example, we built a GUI. So the GUI is the way it is user friendly. Even a non-technical folk can onboard clients, set up routes, manage the TPS configurations without touching the code. Also, we have made sure that there is no downtime during the config changes. Like if you are changing the routing and it has a downtime, that is something very huge for a traffic that is going on 24/7. And finally, like we made a plugin based module, billing, archiving, DND filters, things that save time and reduce dependency on the development team. So basically, like you are getting a power of tech without becoming the techie.
Okay, I love that. It's not just a product for aggregators, but actually shaped by them. Okay,
Exactly.
okay. So, Bhaumik, as we all know, every opportunity comes with a challenge. So, what are some common mistakes that CPaaS aggregators make when trying to grow fast?
Yes, this is something which we have seen a lot. Like one big mistake is chasing volume without preparing for the tech. Like we have seen certain customers who has 10 vendors, like they push traffic but they do not have a proper routing engine. There is no alert mechanism if something goes down. There is no DLR handling. So when something breaks, they fly blindly. And apart from this, there is another common mistake which was ignoring the automation. Like if you are uh, aggregator and your knock team is still adding users manually or configuring the bind limits line by line, then the product is not going to scale. I had a client who doubled their revenue, but they spent weeks just to issuing the CDR reports to their end customer. So everyone should grow, but smartly, not only fast.
Yeah, that's right. I think growing fast without preparing the backend is risky, and even too much manual work is a hidden growth killer, I feel. So, for companies stuck in legacy setups, what is your advice on switching to a modern platform like PowerSMPP?
Yes, so like I totally get their hesitation. A lot of companies are like the old setup is still working perfectly fine. That's fair. It's familiar. It's perfectly running. There is a comfort in navigating those modules. The troubleshooting. But the thing is, those legacy systems usually weren't built for the aggregators. That is not modern. Like you will start noticing small things missing, like dynamic TPS or the ability to plug in new features like DND or having one MNP APIs without coding for those specific modules. And then suddenly, when you want to expand your business and add something that is like WhatsApp, you will hit a wall. So this is something which should not be there for the aggregators.
Okay, and how does PowerSMPP make that transition easier?
Okay, so the best part is migration isn't scary with Power SMPP. Like one of our clients from USA, They had the same exact situation. Their old stack couldn't scale fast enough when they landed enterprise deal. Okay, so we moved them to Power SMPP under a week period of time. No message loss, no chaos, just a smooth modern stack that helped them go live with the new customers in days, not in even months.
Absolutely. I think migration can seem scary, but with the right support, it becomes a smooth leap. Okay. So, do you ever see teams overbuilding unnecessarily when, simpler infrastructure could work?
Yes, happens all the time. Like I've seen teams doing around 1 million message a month. They are running 10 different gateways, investing in fancy load balancer setups, even deploying application clusters. When honestly, a single well configured gateway on a very basic server could have handled it just fine. I still remember a customer. They were from Middle East and they had a very huge setup, like multiple nodes, high-end infra. And when we looked closer, the actual peak TPS didn't even cross 30. So we identified that gap and we helped them to move to a much linear Power SMPP setup. Not only they did reduce their cost after that, but the performance actually got better. So yes, sometimes a simpler infrastructure with a smarter call, especially when you are not at massive scale yet, could help you move very fast forward.
Yes, exactly. Overbuilding can be just as harmful as underbuilding. Right. Okay. So, Bhaumik, let's fast forward a bit now. So, in your view, where is the aggregator ecosystem heading in the next 2 to 3 years?
Okay, so I think aggregator ecosystem is definitely shifting from just delivering the messaging to becoming a more smart communication hub. Okay, in next 2 3 years, it's going to be less about how many messages I've sent, but it is more about how intelligently I've routed the messages to different communication channels. Okay, and there's going to be more demand about the hybrid messaging, like combining the WhatsApp, RCS, SMS in one flow. And if you get better analytics, self-serve tools, faster onboarding, then it is just a piece of cake.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting to see where this is all heading. Okay, and how is Power SMPP preparing to fit into that future?
Okay, Power SMPP is already headed in that direction. Like we have built plug and play channels like WhatsApp, no code chatbots, agent creation, and also we are actively working on RCS part as well. So very soon you will see the magic in the application.
That is reassuring. So, Power SMPP isn't just keeping up, it's already building for what's next. Okay. A lot of people talk about AI in routing and delivery prediction. So, do you think it will play a big role in aggregator platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, when you look at the scale aggregators are handling right now, millions of messages across dozens of route. Manual routing doesn't cut it anymore. Like, what AI can do is it can check the past delivery behavior, it can check the DLR pattern, it can check the telco downtimes, and even user engagement. So it can make the smarter decisions in real time. For example, if a route in Nigeria constantly fails at 8 p.m., the system should automatically switch to a fallback route, and that's where the AI shines. So that should something every platform should have. And at Power SMPP, we have already started experimenting with some of this insight. So, like adaptive routing based on real time feedback would be something that can help aggregators on very next level.
Okay, that is really insightful. And I like that you're talking real use cases. Okay. All right. So let's bring in the audience now. So if you have got questions about aggregators, Power SMPP, delivery systems, or growth challenges, anything, drop them in the chat and we'll take a few and have Bhaumik answer them live. Okay, so we have got one question. It says that you mentioned hybrid messaging earlier. Do businesses really need WhatsApp and SMS? Isn't one enough?
A nice question, I would say. Let's say you are an aggregator who are only working with aggregators ahead, and they are strictly with SMS. Then SMS communication channel is sufficient for you. You do not need other channels like WhatsApp. But on the other hand, if you are an aggregator and aggregator who is providing services to enterprise customers, then you would need WhatsApp, RCS, and other communication channels as well. So yes, depends on your use case, depends on how your business is currently running. You can decide this factor.
Okay, so you talked about adaptive routing, but can AI really make decisions better than a human?
Yes, in many cases, yes. Not because it is smarter than human, but because it uh, makes faster decisions and it doesn't sleep. Like if you can check out the trends, if you can check out the failures, telco downtimes, and based on that, AI can uh, contain or curate its own data and switch things instantly. So, like, no more waiting for someone to log into the system, fix it manually, even checking the logs and everything. You already have a solution pre-hand based on the trends, and you provide the solutions.
Amazing. Okay, we have one more question here. It says that you said onboarding is getting faster. How fast are we talking about?
Good one. So earlier, the setting up a new aggregator account could take days, and that's what we have discussed initially. So configuring routes, users, DND filters, spam checks, everything was very manual. But now, with platforms like PowerSMPP, you can be up and running literally in couple of hours. There is mostly plug and play where you come to the application, configure some things. You have automated DLR handling, routing engine, and everything. So there is no more developers crying in the corner anymore.
Okay, so I'll pick one last question for today, and it says that is Power SMPP only for big aggregators or can small players use it too?
No, not at all for only aggregators. We have clients who are sending millions of messages a day, and there are other clients who are startups or enterprise customers who are still developing their business in the market and getting started. So the idea behind the whole Power SMPP team is to scale with you guys. Okay. You can start small, and once the platform will grow as your traffic grows in the market, and you do not need to become a telecom giant to use the Power SMPP. You just need an ambition to start business in A2P, and we'll take care of everything.
All right, so this was such a great session. Thank you, Bhaumik, for sharing such actionable insights. I personally learned a lot about the backend of CPaaS scaling and how strategic tools like Power SMPP are making a difference every day. So, to everyone who joined us, thank you so much for attending and staying till the end. This webinar was powered by PowerSMPP, our high performance messaging engine built to help aggregators scale smarter and not harder. We're sharing a link in the chat to connect directly with our team. So, if you're looking to modernize your delivery infrastructure, our team is just a click away. So, yeah, until next time, thank you again and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.